What's up out the mud? It's your girl Monica, and in this video I'm going to show y'all how to do stuff the non-traditional way. Buy land, start a farm, get money. We're not thinking inside the box, we're thinking outside the box. Basically, you're in your own way, okay? Because you're not allowing what's in between your ears to come out so that you can get the money, so that you can use that money to buy your land, okay? To be able to start your farm and your homestead. That's all I came to say, okay? So if you're new here, my name is Monica. I'm an entrepreneur, been self-employed full-time since 2011, okay? Real estate was what brought me to the dance. I'm a real estate broker in the state of Tennessee, own my own real estate brokerage. But in 2018, I was about to get foreclosed on. So I had to sell my house in a hurry and then figure out what me, my 4 sons, and our 2 dogs was gonna do. I had already wanted to start farming. I already wanted to get back to like a self-sufficient type of a lifestyle. My grandmother had passed away. It seemed like after she passed away, that's all I could think about. And so when I was facing foreclosure and trying to figure out where me and my boys were gonna live, I realized I did not want to rent. And so I knew about owner financing. So I was able to come to where I am now, Murfreesboro, Tennessee, buy 5 acres with horrible credit and no bank. So that's number 1. Yes, you can buy property without going through a bank, without having perfect credit. I've done it. I've done it myself. Not only did I buy property, I bought 5 acres, right? So as soon as I did that, I was like, listen, this is my grandmother helping me do this. I'm about to start this farm. So I started doing a whole bunch of research, and I ran into this gentleman. This is Booker T. Watley. He's talking to some farmers down in Alabama, I believe. I think he was in Gadsden, Alabama, okay? And I bought this picture off of Amazon, and it's an original. And whatever, I don't know what prompted me to buy it, but I just decided to buy it because I had stumbled across this book that he wrote. So this was at the very beginning. This was 2018, right? I'm just getting up here, got my 5 acres. I beat foreclosure. You know, I was all excited that I didn't get foreclosed on. So now I get to start this farm because I'm feeling like my grandmother is telling me, go girl, go, right? So I ended up doing a whole bunch of research because I'm a nerd, and I stumbled across Booker T. Watley. Got this book from Amazon for $29. You cannot find this book for $29 now. This is a I can't remember what war he fought in, but he's a veteran, 2nd or 3rd generation farmer, and he could not stand big agriculture, okay? He was all about the small farmer, okay? The book was written in 1980 something, okay? Regenerative Agriculture Association is who published it, so you know what time of day that is, okay? So where am I at? When you start trying to figure out, and a lot of times when people hear the word farm and the term farmer, it's not necessarily somebody that looks like me, right? Not just because I'm black, but because I'm a woman, right? And so I don't get off into all that. Like that doesn't matter. God put us all here. God gave us this beautiful earth to steward, right? And to me, the stuff that they got us doing now, all this going to work and punching the clock and 2 hours of commute, and you know, I just feel like that ain't natural, okay? I get it, we gotta have money, but there's all kinds of ways that you can think outside the box to get money, which brings me to my second thing. First thing is you can buy your land, your house, whatever it is, without a bank. It's called owner financing. And the way that you'll learn about it on YouTube is not the way you should do it if you're trying to do it how I did it, okay? And you have to have some money. So I don't know what show you were watching that told you you won't need to have any money, no money down and all that. That's not what we're talking about, okay? So the next thing is the farm situation. So when I got up here and got the 5 acres, I knew I wanted to start the farm. So I decided to get my farm number again after doing my research and realizing that that was even a thing. Realizing that the USDA defines a farm as any place, when the government uses words like any place, They are intentional. They could have chosen a whole bunch of other words, but they chose to use the word any place in the definition of a farm. Okay? Any place that could or normally would produce $1,000 worth of agricultural products is a farm. Now, when you go look up what an agricultural product is, they also don't have a hard and fast definition. I've emailed them. There's nothing hard and fast. Basically, anything that is derived directly from agriculture is an agricultural product. So that's plants, dirts, animal products. Okay, all of those things are agricultural products. So if you're in an apartment and you don't have 5 acres like me and you want to start a farm, you can do that. You just have to produce an agricultural product. You can't make the people at your apartment complex mad, okay, by producing this agricultural product. So you got to do it within the confines of your lease, right? So maybe it's making soap in your kitchen, right? Then you need to probably go ahead and sell your $1,000 worth, because when you go to Farm Services Agency and ask them for a farm number and you're in an apartment, they're going to look at you cross-eyed and be like, okay, you want a farm number? All right. So what you have to do is take and empower yourself with the information I just gave you. Do your $1,000 worth of sales of your soap on Etsy or wherever. Show your receipts when you go into the Farm Services Agency, and remind them gently and kindly of the definition of a farm, and you will walk out with your farm number. I've helped a whole bunch of people do it. Trust me, it's a thing. The Farm Services Agency is a branch of the United States Department of Agriculture. Every county or parish, whatever, should have one. Okay, so outside of the box. So far, we've bought property without a bank with horrible credit. We have established ourselves as a farm, and we're new to this whole thing, right? Now we're a farmer, okay? So why is this something that you should do? Well, for me, first of all, you don't have to do it. So if you're wondering, like, should I do this or not? This is not something that unless you feel called to do it, like I did, and like a lot of people, don't fool with it. And a lot of times people are like, well, why do I need a farm number? And it's because it's like your farm social. So you got a social, right? And that social security number gets you things, right? It gets you access to stuff, right? So because you have that, you can get access. Well, same thing with the farm. Your farm number is really a farm track number, and it gets you access to stuff at the USDA. Now, before you say it, I don't want to fool with the government. I don't want them knowing what I'm doing. I don't want them coming on my property and telling me what to do. Good for you. I don't happen to mind, okay? I have received a grant for a high tunnel. I've got a 30 by 96 high tunnel at the very back of my 5 acres, and hopefully we'll be getting another one in the spring, along with a well and some irrigation. So I'm cool with the United States federal government, okay? And I'm not doing anything that I wouldn't want them to come check on, okay? To me, it's more important to get that infrastructure on my farm, because it gets me one step closer to self-sufficiency. However, I got to do it. Self-sufficiency by any means necessary. Okay, that's where I'm at with it. Because why? The traditional way of doing things, working a 9-to-5 and doing all that I left that in 2011. I haven't worked for anybody since 2011. Okay, I probably couldn't even get a job right now, right? What I would really love to be able to do is just to homestead full time. And to me, let me keep it clear. What homesteading looks like to me is being self-sufficient, not having to go and, just being as self-sufficient as possible. Is that off grid? I would love that to happen. I would love to be 100% off grid. I know that is probably like a million miles away from me right now, though. Because while I do want that, I've grown accustomed to certain things, right? And I don't want to do it in a rustic manner. Maybe some of y'all can feel me and let me know in the comments. I'm not bougie, but I done got too old for certain things. I need certain things to be in place. All right, so now let's talk about the money. If you don't have any money, it ain't gonna work, okay? I don't care what nobody says. Like, it costs money to homestead and to farm and do all this other stuff. Ask me how I know, okay? That high tunnel, I had to pay 14 grand up front. I got reimbursed, but I had to have $14,000 from somewhere to be able to do that, right? The chicken coop, right? I have a shed that I was in process of converting to a chicken coop. I got $1,500 in that and it ain't even ready. So then I ended up spending another $900 on a dog kennel and I don't know how many different tarps, okay, and chicken feed and also homesteading and all of this whole journey is going to cost you money, right? All the books I got in there, I don't know how many books about how to do this and how to do that. So you have got to figure out a way to get to the money. So let's talk about that creatively, right? This is what this is all about. So 1800s, United States, agricultural. Then we moved into the industrial age, right? Then we moved into the .com or distribution age. Actually, distribution age came after the industrial age. So now we in the 70s, 80s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Then the .com era came upon us, whatever that's called. Now we are in the full-blown information age. So I need for you to understand this. You have to accept and own that fact that this is where we are and that you have something that can be monetized between your ears. There's all kinds of stuff popping up about, monetizing your expertise and all this. And it's popping up like that for a reason. Okay. Literally in 2018, I was able to use my expertise brokering, bringing two parties together to pull $600,000 out the air that I didn't even know existed. All because I started a membership program. Okay. So had I not done that, I wouldn't have been able to get the land cleared, cut a road, pay $14,000 for the high tunnel, buy all this crap that I done bought that I ain't done nothing with yet, right? So you have got to get on the information boat and you have got to understand that there is something that and you're minimizing it in your mind, okay? I know you are because I've talked to too many of you. I've had consultations and a lot of people are thinking, well, somebody's already doing it or nobody's going to want to hear me talk about it or all of these self-limiting beliefs that stories you're making up in your head, okay? All you need is 300 people in the United States that want to hear how you do the thing. They want to know how you did it, okay? They don't want to know how that other person did it. Why? Because they like the fact that you got red hair. They like the fact that you wear glasses. They like the tone of your voice. They like the fact that you're from where they're from, right? Everybody is going to migrate to who they learn best from. And if you are not putting yourself out there, then those 300 people, okay, that are waiting for you to help them, waiting to give you their money so that you can help them do whatever it is, they're not going to ever find you. Why do I say 300 people? Because when I started that membership program in 2021, all I needed was 300 members at $37 a month, and it was $11,100 a month. And I think that's $132,000 a year. Okay. Now we cooking with some grease. Okay. Now we can make some decisions on, I'm buying cedar planks for my raised beds. I'm getting hay bales. I got nitrogen on order from Amazon. I got a Uline account bringing me my bags for my rabbit poop. I'm packing rabbit poop. See what I'm saying? I got money to be able to make some of these moves. Now, granted, some of the moves I shouldn't have made. Okay. But my point is this, you have to realize that we are now in the information age. Come on up, right? Agricultural, 1800s, industrial, early 1900s, distribution, Walmart, all that 70s, 80s, 90s.com. Okay. Now we in the 2020s. Okay. We are in full force AI. So when it comes to the information that you have, there is a place that will allow for it to be monetized. And you just got to figure out what that is. Like, for me, as a broker, my skills are transferable in a whole bunch of different places. The place that I made my money in was the notary space. Like, you couldn't have even, there is nothing you could have told me. I didn't even know. I mean, obviously I used a notary before, but you could not have told me if you had told me in 2021 that I was going to make $600,000 over the next 4 years with a notary membership training platform, I would have asked you, what are you smoking and where did you get it from? I would not have believed you, okay? That is how I know that there is something in between there's a skill set that you have that you are underutilizing. And I get that you don't want to be on camera. And I get that you don't want to put your face on camera. And I get you don't want people to know where you at. And I get you not. Have you ever heard the word sacrifice? You can't have your cake and eat it too. If you want a homestead, you're going to need money. And unless you want to go Uber and Lyft and do all this other stuff to get the money, then you're going to have to pull something from between your ears and get out here and allow people to be able to find you. It ain't going to work without that. I'm just going to keep it a buck, okay? So thinking outside the box, that's what I do. That's how you have to do in this day and age. Yes, you can buy land. Do you need it? No, but I get it. It works easier if you got land, right? Even a half an acre. You don't need a whole lot of land. There's people out here doing more on a quarter acre than I'm doing on 5. So don't, if you're in an apartment and you're trying to figure out, well, how do I even go about buying this house and doing all this or buying this land? Get your money up first. Get your money up first. Figure out what that thing is that you can do, right? That will allow for you to start seeing 10, 15, 20, $30,000 coming in every single month, or even every other month. That'd be better than whatever is happening right now. Okay. Then once you get some money put up, 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000, which it should not take you long if you've got the right thing and you find your audience and do all this other stuff. That's not gonna be a problem, right? So now you can go and negotiate on an owner financing deal and find some land where somebody wants to deal direct with you. They don't want to go to the bank. Well, you may be wondering why. Capital gains taxes. People want to avoid capital gains taxes, okay? Baby boomers basically own everything. If a baby boomer is somebody who was born between 1946 and 1964, statistically, they own more real estate in the United States than any other generation. They own land, they own residential properties, they own commercial. Some of them got 2 and 3 and 4 pieces of property, okay? Which means they're not living in all of those properties. So if they sell one of those properties in the traditional way, then Uncle Sam is going to hit their pockets with a capital gains tax. They do not want that. That is why they will do owner financing. Is this all making sense? Okay. So basically you're in your own way. Okay. Because you're not allowing what's in between your ears to come out so that you can get the money, so that you can use that money to buy your land, okay, to be able to start your farm and your homestead. That's all I came to say, okay? So if you want my help with that, I would absolutely love to help you. Check the link in the description box and let's connect. All right, peace.